Good morning, Joseph. How are you?
Morning, Tony. How are you, man?
I'm great. I get to talk with you first thing in the morning. I got my cup of coffee here. It couldn't be better, actually. Um, how are the interviews going so far?
So far, so good. It's funny too. Like I always say, like I don't mind when people call me Tommy, like on the streets, but it is a little funny when interviewers are just like, "No, I'm going to call you Tommy," and it's just like, then I'm going to call you Sally. Like, you know what I mean?
Wow.
Help me out here.
You've
I
lived
think we're
with
going.
Tommy
Oh
for,
yeah,
for
for 8 years. I love
yeah.
Tommy Egan. There's so many aspects about Tommy Egan's personality that I wish were mine. Tommy is far more cocksure and he trusts his gut more than I do. But then he's got some negative ones. I mean, his temper gets him into all kinds of situations that are near death. His personality doesn't allow him, and his lifestyle choice doesn't allow him to keep love for very long. And I think that's why he's in constant pursuit of identity and love and family. So it's a yin and a yang.
Is it freeing for you to play a character that is so volatile at times? I mean, is that therapeutic?
I think in some ways, Tony, I was pretty I was a pretty angry young man, like a lot of us were. I went to anger management therapy for years, for 2 years, right before we started the Power Show, and I still am a big proponent of mental health and mental health awareness. I still see my counselor, my therapist every week. But I transferred out of anger management after I got a good handle on it and realized that that way of acting was not beneficial to my life anymore. And that these are tools we learn as young people in different environments, and that we sometimes need to change them. So I'm no stranger to anger. But I think that how you deal with that anger is the way that I deal with it than the way that Tommy deals with it. And I'd much rather be around me if the situation popped off.
I think I'd rather be around you too than Tommy. Um, the
Okay.
the other part of this is actors don't normally get to see their characters evolve over a period of time like you have with Tommy. I think it's a blessing to ride with the character this long.
I totally agree with you, Tony. I think that's an incredible luxury to find minutia at this point within the development of the character, because the character is fully developed. In fact, I was a big believer in having the character be fully developed from the minute that I stepped on the set of the Power Show in 2013 for the first episode, for the first scene that we filmed in Woodside, Queens.
Hmm.
I made it a point not to change the character. I knew who I wanted Tommy to be. And so that's all I was doing, was presenting my version of Tommy and not changing. Because a good friend of mine told me, if you change the character at all from the first episode, if it goes one season, if it goes 10 seasons, the audience will turn on you and they won't even know why. So I stuck to my guns. I stuck to Tommy. And then the writers started writing to my Tommy. So then we were really collaborating together. And then they wrote different situations that my Tommy acted in, that my Tommy was present in. And now we're getting to a point that the minutia of Tommy and what makes him tick and his constitution is going from the deep, deep bowels up to the surface. And now we're getting to see an even more complex character. And what a joy and a luxury that I get to do that.
And your cast, the people that you get to play with are just incredible.
Tommy Flanagan, Isaac Keys, Chris Bofton, Gabrielle Ryan, Lily Simmons, Shane Harper, Phil Donlan, Guy Van Swearingen, Lucian Cambridge, Ahmad Ferguson. The list goes on and on and on. And everybody is stellar. What they have compiled from this cast is literally like waking up into a pool of lukewarm water. It's just beautiful and relaxing and fun. So I'm so grateful to play with such incredible artists.
As we're starting this new season, what do you think audiences are going to take away from Force?
That Tommy is like Wile E. Coyote in a lot of ways. He's hard to kill, but man, he gets beat up. And it is a struggle for him to navigate these waters that almost seem like they should be Queens, but it's not. Chicago is a very different animal. But I think you can make the mistake of seeing something and judging that book by its cover. And I think that more and more, what Tommy is going to show to the world is that when you judge a book by its cover, you make the mistakes. When you are actually using more rounded and all of your senses, that's when you get a deeper sense of what the actuality is. because I think that that is also true of people. And I think that Tommy, with showing black to white and white to black in terms of the gangs and who wants to work with who, it's like you're judging these books by their cover, and that's not how we succeed. That's not how we make money.
As you said, this series has a different flavor than than what we're used to. It's just elevated, and it's a little bit more detailed than previous efforts. I really like this new show.
I really appreciate that, Tony. We worked really hard on this show, specifically the crew and the actors so much. I think that the actors, because it's such a high caliber of actor, I think that we get real detailed nuances into character. Audrey Esparza, who's reprising her role as Liliana, does a fantastic job of a character that we never got to know. But she came in with real big choices and an incredible history that she stuck to. So she was and continues to be an incredible scene partner. I'm very grateful for her.
And I'm very grateful for the time you gave us this morning. It's Power Book for Force. It's on Stars, and it is, yeah, it is an amazing show. And I want to, just before I leave, just tell you, I'm so appreciative of your acting skills. I mean, you really do get into Tommy. You understand this character, and that's part of your theatrical training, I would imagine, and everything you've been through up to this point.
Yes, sir. Yeah, it's a composition, and I think that any actor worth their salt also gives the gift of their authentic self within that performance.
I appreciate your time again. Thank you so much, and have a great morning.
Thanks, Tony. You too.
Bye-bye.